Yeah. Back in a podcasting room. We've certainly had a lot of conversations where we've sat like this. You know, conversations that are meant for the public. It's terrifying. It's absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm on the verge of like standing up and walking out of this room. Absolutely. What am I doing? But no, I feel like this is a necessary thing. It's been kind of great to be super private. And that's the whole reason that we're here, because we're stuck in 2022.
Yeah.
We have moved on with our lives. But like, as far as everybody else is concerned, we're still stuck in 2022. You know, that brings us to the whole reason that we're here, and the reason that we can't walk out of this room, because we live in a social world, and we can't move on with our lives if we don't, you know, move on. I mean, in 2022, it got so big, right? The whole scandal, it grew and grew and grew and grew, to the point where it just became this thing that just like got so much bigger than us. I feel like I just sort of hid away from it, you know? And going completely dark was the only thing that I could think to do. And for the last 3 years, I've just hidden behind the scandal, you know? And now, like, now I can't get out from behind it. But even like going out in public with like my kids or just going out to dinner or something like that, the only thing that people see is the scandal. So it's a really strange way to go about your normal life. Who has needs? Like I want to have regular friends, and I don't want to like walk up to somebody that I want to be friends with at like preschool and have to start every conversation with like, my personal life is a dumpster fire, as I'm sure you know. Do you want to be friends with, you know, like, I'm not gonna lie, I have some really authentic friends, but like, I don't want to go about my life starting friendships like that. Like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no, absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No, fuck no. Like, you know, I sorry, I saw red for a minute. It's like, no, the answer is no. But also I feel like forgiveness isn't the goal at this point. You know, we've been together for a long time, and you are the father of my 2 beautiful children, and we know each other really well, and I you know, we've worked through a lot of stuff. And the fact that I can be around you and still like have a good time spending time with you and enjoy spending time with my kids, like, I think that's a win. You know, we're talking about like not having sat in this position for 3 years, you know, And like, yeah, of course I'm still angry. We lost a lot. There was a lot that happened 3 years ago. It was, I mean, I found out about your affair from the fans. And I was so blindsided that somebody sent me a picture, and I couldn't. It was like my brain couldn't compute. And it's like, for some reason I didn't see what was actually there. And I remember sending it to you and being like, what's your sister doing in New York? It was, and I think back on that and I think, like, what was I, like, how did I not see what was going on? Like, what was so fucked up in my brain that I couldn't actually see what was happening in this picture? Like, the picture was right there in front of me, falling and falling, and like, and then more pictures started coming in, and more pictures and more pictures and more pictures. And it is so wild how we live in this world where everything is so public. You don't realize it, but everybody's taking pictures of you. Whenever you leave your house, you're like, you're not safe, you know? And it kind of like, and then after everything happened, I sort of went into this, like, this weird state where, like, nothing was safe. Nothing and nobody, like, I couldn't trust anybody. I couldn't trust the public. I couldn't trust you. I couldn't trust my friends. I just stayed inside, like, because there were cameras everywhere. You know, it was like, it was so unsafe. Everything was unsafe. Yeah, it took a long time to like get back to myself.
Make it worse? Did it make it easier? Did it just sort of make it?
It was so many different things. And it was all tied in together too. You know, I think that, and it all, it's like the trauma of discovering that you've been, that, like, everything that you know isn't real. And then add to it this other part where you're sort of being watched by cameras, which isn't something that's, like, a part of our lives. Like, yes, we are somewhat public figures, but, like, we've never had cameras waiting outside of our house. Like, that's not something that we're used to. Like, we're not, like, celebrities. That's not, that's not a part of our lives. And this was a period in our lives where we had, like, there was, like, a car following us. And it was really strange because we had just, you know, found out that we were dealing with this, with this cheating situation, with this betrayal, we decided to find a new couples therapist, right?
Right.
And so we were driving to our new couples therapist, and so we were in the car together because we decided to drive together, and you decided you needed a snack, and so you had a Tupperware with you, and I had my jug of water, and we got in the car together because we were like, well, why don't we drive together? We're going to the same place. And so we get in the car, and we were driving there, and so you're like eating your apple as you're driving, and I turned to you and I was like, Ned, I think there's a car following us. Like, I'm pretty sure this car has followed us from our house. And you were like, oh, that's weird. Like, I wonder what that could be, And then when we park outside of the couples therapist's office, and we see that this car has a camera, I was like, I think that person just took a picture of us. And so we went inside and we talked about it a little bit, and then we had our therapy session, and then we came out, and then there were multiple people outside, and it was probably one of the strangest situations that I personally have ever been in. I did not know what to do with my face. And so my reaction when I don't know what to do with my face is I smile.
Yeah.
That is my go-to reaction when I don't know what to do with my face. I just smile like an idiot.
That was my reaction too.
I smile like like a cat. I just smile. And
this is the video that everyone
saw. And beyond like this is so bizarre. What is happening right now? This has never happened in our lives ever. We don't know what's going on. Like, let's just get to our car, and we're just like, just smile, just us. Who are these people? Everything's fine. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That was the strangest situation. It was so bizarre.
I remember
it absolutely was not. But it was like the strangest thing. I thought that was really strange.
I can see how that Cosmo doesn't note that it's like
awful, obviously, and cheated on. Like, what would somebody in a movie do? Specific movie or something like that. I was thinking like, what do people do in this situation? I wasn't thinking I wasn't thinking for myself. I was thinking like what do I do next? And I remember we were in New York, and you were just picking me up from the airport. And I was so like naively, so you were driving a rental, and I just naively looked over to you in the driver's seat, and I was like, why was Grace in New York? Like, I didn't realize Grace was in New York. Why was she, referring to that picture that I had sent to you? And you looked over at me with this look on your face, and it was like the veil just fell, like this, like I knew in my brain that something was going on, but I just sort of refused to believe it. Just wildly guilty look on your face, like you wanted to tell me something. And I didn't even let you say anything. I was like, turn this car around. No, that part's not hard for me to hear. I think it's, I've done a lot. I've spoken a lot with other betrayed partners
Mm.
over the last 3 years, and it's something that I've heard a lot. This idea of like when there's this sense of relief when the partner who's doing the betraying is able to finally tell the betrayed partner that about all the things that they have been doing, and kind of put their shame onto the other partner.
Right.
They, in that like sort of release of their like of all of that like,
Yeah. Sure.
it's almost like they feel so much relief, but the partner then has to accept it. And that's exactly what happened.
Mm.
You know, when you told me, suddenly then I had to take all of that guilt and shame of your affair. And it was so much to carry. So much. Like, and I know that it, like, and you know, suddenly something that like you had that, and it, like the wild thing is that this was something that you had done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I had no part in this. This was not like, you could even say that you had done this to me. I was the victim of this situation. And yet, when you told me, I had to like accept your guilt and your shame. And in our like society where couples are, especially married couples, like when men have affairs, women are often looked at as like, well, what did you do? It is so hard to get out from under that. Of like, well, what did you do to make him look elsewhere? You know, were you not a good enough wife? Were you not, did you not make him happy enough? You know? And there's so much shame there. And I'm so tired of holding that. I'm so tired of holding it. That like, not only did you having an affair just, it shattered our marriage, but it also, like, all of that guilt and shame, you like hoisted that on me. And now I have to carry that around for the rest of my life.
And no,
It's kind of weird to think about it now, because I feel like I'm in a really good place now, and going back to like before I discovered the affair, it feels like going back to this weird fantasy world where like, I don't know, I thought we had this love that like transcended, I don't know. but it was a fantasy. It was like, you know, I trusted you so completely. And I mean, we grew up together. We were like in our early 20s. We were babies. We had nothing. I mean, we moved out to LA with just our car full of stuff. I mean, I'm like tearing up just thinking about it. We were just kids. And it's like, it really was a fantasy. And I just think, how could you do that to me? Much. We had so much life left. We still have so much life left. I don't know why I'm crying.
I think it's...
So where do we go from here?
I mean, that's kind of how we've been.
You're like, I don't care that your life is messy. I want to be a part of your life. Like, don't push me away. You know?
Yeah, it was a real...
I think as I just got more comfortable talking to people about like what happened, and they just seemed to not care. Isn't a big deal.
It is
like all the parents at Wes's school, or you know, they're like, either they don't know or they don't give a flying fuck. They're like, yeah, who cares? It's one of many scandals. Like, also it was 3 years ago. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
No, they're like, they're sort of like,
right, because when you're in,
it just gives you so much perspective.
Yeah.
It gives you so much perspective to just be in a group of people where nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know, and it gives you, honestly, I think that is what gives me the courage to just be like, you know what? It's okay.
Right.
I'm gonna be okay. Okay. Like I can live in a world where this has happened and people know, and also we've moved on. I can go on dates and not have people be whispering about me. I don't know. I just imagine a world where I can just be myself and not have this thing following me around. You know, where I don't have to like, where maybe we are at a restaurant with our kids, mm-hmm. and I don't have to feel shame because I'm like, you know, having fun. Are they back together?
Right.
Just because I'm like having a joyful time with my kids and my ex-husband. Is that a crime?
Yeah.
To feel joy?
Like, can I live?
Like we travel together. It's we have a familial relationship.
Yeah. If you want to say pals.
At the same time, it can be both at different times. And, you know, it can be one thing one day and something different another day. You know, I have some days when I hate your guts. There are days when I enjoy your company more than not. And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's really sad because I feel the loss. But other days, I feel a lot of gratitude and joy for where we're at now. Especially, I mean, our kids are awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're worth every cent we've spent on therapy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would call it rebuilding. I think we're building something new.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think you have to.
Yes. And that was always a struggle for me because I felt like I wanted the two to be the same. You know, I always wanted to be one whole person. And I didn't want to be like an actor on camera and then another person in my real life. You know, and that's the funny thing about like being a YouTuber or being an influencer is people expect you to be one person in your real life and on the internet. And then when you're not, then it's like, well, you're lying. I don't know. What do you think? So what are you going to do now that you're back on the internet?
It's a great question. For a long time,
People
I think other people would be interested.
We are not together. We live separately. We are devoted co-parents to our two beautiful, beautiful children. Wes, who is 7, and Finn, who is almost 5. Yes, we are dating other people. For my time there, but no, I think that era is over.
So
yeah, I mean, these last 3 years have given me a lot of time to like kind of express what I love, and I've gone back to pottery, which is something that I was really into in college. It started out as just something that I wanted to do, just to like, I don't know, kind of center myself, as like a hobby. But I've gotten really into it, and I've been spending a lot of time in my own studio, and I'm starting up my own business. Yeah. And, we'll see where it takes me. I mean, the first reason is that I really enjoy just making stuff, in my studio by myself. You know, I know that sounds so silly, you know, but I love just going into my pottery studio and just sitting at my wheel and getting so dirty and not filming it and just doing what I want to do and making mistakes and just sometimes making really shitty stuff. Tell anyone about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the second reason is that I feel like sometimes, and we don't have to put this part in, but it is a valid reason. I feel like sometimes people who are on the internet, there is another standard of beauty for people who are on the internet. And I don't want to hold myself to that standard anymore. I'm going to be 40 this year, and I want to look at myself in the mirror and I want to say, fuck yeah. Like, oh my God, are people going to notice that I don't look like I'm 30 anymore? Are people going to think that I look old? Are people going to think that that this is bad or this is bad or this is bad? I love looking in the mirror and being like, you know what? I look great.
Yeah.
Like, good enough is good enough. No?
Yeah.
I don't want to look in the mirror and be like, I don't look good enough. I don't love that place. And I think that being a public person, that you sort of have to look at yourself that way. Or at least that was my experience. And I choose not to do that. Just be authentic. Just be authentic with your audience.
Like
to be the person that I genuinely believe that I am.
Yeah.
I feel like for a long time I've wanted to be one person, but I've lived the life of a person who isn't that person. I just want each of us to grow in the way that makes each of us happy.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be who you are, and I want me to be who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I want for you to feel like you can be who you are, and I want you to feel like you can do that without judgment. And I want the same for myself.
Yeah,